This is a pair of Peavey studio speakers made by Audio Media Research Corporation, or AMR. These speakers have virtually no documentation anywhere on the internet for them, except for this. This is literally all I can find. These particular speakers are the PRM 310S's. They have a 10-inch woofer, a 5-inch mid-range that seems to have some kind of lamination over it. Almost looks like it's a waterproof speaker. And then a 1.1-inch tweeter. They both actually also feature an equalized or a reference rocker switch. The reference makes these speakers more flat for use in a studio setting, or equalized, which seems to boost the mid-range and the treble. I prefer equalized. It just makes it a little bit more crisp and it pops more. They're a ported design, which seems to have a lot of bass that comes out of them, and wind. It's an 8-ohm speaker, and that's pretty much all the information I can find about them. They were made between 1990 and 1993. They were featured in a couple magazines such as Sound on Sound and Music Technology from 1991 to 1993. They could have been made longer, I'm not sure, but I literally cannot find any more information about these speakers, not even their wattage rating. The foam is unfortunately deteriorating on these speakers as they came from somebody who heavily smoked. These speakers were literally almost wet when I got them. It took them about 6 months to dry and for the smell to go away, but then the foam started to fall off of it. The tweeters are recessed in this speaker in a nice piece of plywood, so these are very important. I literally had to piece this one back together, and it's held together with tape. And I had to put some fabric around both of them to keep them in place as they just kept falling off. But let's listen to these speakers. This is the crossover that is inside this speaker. Until this speaker, I have never seen what appears to be transformers inside of there. I did make a post on this speakers on Audio Karma, and a user did say that he does not think those are transformers, but more of some kind of an inductor of sorts, which would make sense, as I've never seen a transformer that requires no power. love the sound of these speakers. They have a very good full sound to them. And for being a ported speaker, they have some of the deepest bass I've heard from ports. Generally, I like acoustically suspended speakers as I feel they have a bit deeper bass response. But they do very good with these speakers. The mid-range gives a very good overall representation of the sound. Like, I love how the guitar sounded through the mid-range here. Very good sounding speakers. It was a tough decision to replace these with the EPI speakers I just did my last video on. But I might replace my Nova 7Bs with these ones. I'm not quite sure. Those speakers. Another very good sounding pair of speakers.